I'm interested to hear why you were so repulsed at the idea of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Can you give me just, I don't want to make this political, but I'm interested to hear.
No.
You are fake news.
Well, I'm German, right? Like I have kind of like some connections to America because my mom, like her friends and some family is here. And from what I've heard, the man's not really for, like, he even himself said, like, early in his time, like, he should not be a president. But like what I feel like he's not someone to talk for anybody because I'm trying to say this like in the most.
What about a
like,
policy? Do you have any? Are you thinking about policy or just him as a person?
I'm thinking about policy because I feel like he has no idea what he's doing. Because with like everything that he's doing right now, from what I've heard, it's not really smart. He's getting in his own way. He's taking rights away from people who, like, he's taking away human rights right now.
What news outlets do you watch?
I don't really watch news.
How do you get this information?
Well, I talk to my family and especially like my grandpa. He watches a lot of news.
What news did he watch?
I
bet it's not Fox News.
No, that's definitely not Fox News.
Yeah.
You are fake news.
So I just would just encourage you to if you care, because I don't think you can vote anyway, but if you care, just observe both sides of the argument. Because I think that it is a myth or certain things that are put out for political purposes to be geared towards one side. If your Paul is watching one side, he's only one-sided. But if you want to be informed, just like with any other thing you do in life, you need to balance it. Listen to this side, listen to this side. Absolutely. In our country, the majority of the people voted for Trump. He won the electoral college vote like a landslide. So there's a reason why they did. You don't have to agree with it, but it'd be good to know.
Because he's promising things that he can't keep up with.
But it'll be good to know what they think and how they think he's doing, and then how they think he's doing, and then you can make your conclusion in the middle.
Yeah.
If you only hear one side, it's not gonna be helpful.
Yeah.
Right. You want to be, when somebody asks you, you want to say, yeah, this policy, this policy, this policy, this is wrong, this is wrong. He actually did this. You don't want to have to say, well, you know, I heard this, or whatever the case may be. And that's with anything in life. And I'm just, that's how I got to the conclusion.
You're nicer than me, bro. Germany's a failed nation, if we're going to be honest.
Yeah, compared to America,
they're a failed nation.
Compared
you guys,
to America's
how though? Wait, okay,
what.
can I say one thing?
Sure.
What's up with your healthcare system? It's fucked.
It's
like
so
you have to pay.
No.
What?
No.
In Germany, you don't have to pay for anything.
Well, if you don't have the money, you don't have to
Healthcare-wise.
pay for healthcare in this country either. You know that?
That's cab.
It's cap. What do you mean? If you have no money, you go right now, you can get on state funded insurance,
correct.
and you can get on you can actually get money for housing. You can get money for food. You get food vouchers. Like nobody goes without health care.
Why are the numbers
this.
of like people who live on the streets then so high?
Well, homelessness and drug addiction and mental illness is a whole nother scenario. There are states that fail to address these issues with these people. They close the insane asylums. They're not helping them. They're just leveraging money to claim they're going to help and they never do anything about it. So that's politicians being politicians that have nothing to do necessarily with the healthcare system.
And they're leftist politicians, which is what the German government is, leftist. You guys are basically socialists, which is cool, but you guys don't have much upward mobility for wealth. You guys basically rely on Russia for your energy, which is why you guys are kind of in a bad situation right now. You guys have no freedom of speech.
We do. You can say whatever you want in Germany.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yes, absolutely.
Really?
100%.
Yes.
100%.
Is it the same as in America?
It's way better.
Free speech is better in Germany and America?
Yeah, 100%.
Give me an example.
Well, in Germany, you can say whatever you want. You don't get arrested for it. You don't, like, people will not come up to you and shoot you with a gun because guns are not allowed. There's basically no killings with guns. There's not a lot of drug problems in our country.
What's the population in Germany? Do you know?
It's smaller than Texas. I think.
All right, so here's the thing. I know this for a fact. There is no freedom of speech in your country. If I question a certain event from World War II...
Were you there, though?
Hold on. If I question a certain event from World War II with a certain guy that had a pretty cool mustache, they're going to get mad.
Yeah. No,
and it's
I'm not
illegal
going to
in
get
your
mad.
country. It's illegal in your country.
Is that true?
I'm not... What?
Is it illegal in your country to say certain things about the mustache man?
In World War II.
Mustache man.
We're on
What
YouTube,
happened
so
in World War II?
It's not that I know of. No.
it is illegal. I know that for a fact. It's
No, it is
illegal to
illegal.
question it. It is.
Well, I don't know. I have to look it up,
You
but
can't, like,
I don't think that there's a comparison between free speech in America. We have a constitutional right to free speech that's protected by force, and that's why we love America. And that's
Yeah.
probably why
you guys don't have freedom of speech.
That's probably why you guys are here too, because America is excellent.
Well, yeah, it
no-
has a lot of benefits,
Even
but
her
it
friend
doesn't make it
know,
better,
Mari.
better in Germany.
I mean, it's like personally,
You guys
I'm
are
here
still
because
paying
it's a big.
reparations to Israel. Like, you guys are totally. Germany is a failed nation in every way. Cool, you got social health care, but all
when
the
did
other
you guys
problems.
stop?
I'm sorry.
Like 2 minutes ago?
What was that?
When did you guys stop paying?
Pay reparations?
Yeah.
We don't pay reparations. To who? Who do you pay the reparations to?
What do you mean? Wasn't Biden like?
To the black people? No.
what?
No.
Definitely not the
No,
black.
we didn't pay reparations to anybody. I think maybe the Japanese, World War II, but that was a long time ago. We don't pay reparations to anybody. Native Americans, maybe? I don't know if she means that, but that's not really reparations. They got a stipend,
Yeah.
and they get to.
So just know when you're in America, Americans have a lot of pride, and we think
Oh,
we're
I
better
know.
than everybody,
Oh no.
and that's why everybody
Not
that's why
actually.
everybody wants to come here.
Yeah.
That's
Well, we
why
are, though. I don't even-
by the
We're not.
millions.
I always laugh when
how
like
much do you
Europeans.
pay? How much do you pay
like-
for college?
How much do we pay for
It,
college?
dep- it
Yeah.
depends. I pay nothing for
Yeah,
college.
here's the thing. It depends
Yeah,
also.
because you had a
Yeah, they offer scholarships.
scholarship, right? Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
other thing
In
too-
Germany,
You
it's
don't
free.
get one.
Well, here's the thing. You know what Harvard is, right?
I do.
But I don't know any good university in Germany. That's the difference.
Well,
We
okay,
have the
have
best
a-
schools. We have the best schools in America.
okay, you have like how much? You have Harvard, you have NYU, you have.
All the Ivy
Like,
League
yeah,
schools
the
are
Ivies.
here.
No, not all. That's wrong. Oxford,
NYU.
Oxford is in the Ivy League.
Oxford University.
It is not in the Ivy League.
I am pretty sure. Can
I
someone
ain't
look it
never
up?
went to an
I have
Ivy
no
League
idea
school, so
about
I
that.
couldn't tell you.
I've
There
no
are
idea.
8 Ivy League schools. Oxford is not one of them. It's a prestigious school in the UK, but it's not a part of the Ivy League. All the Ivy League schools are in New England, and then one in New Jersey, one in Pennsylvania. There's 8 of them,
Okay, but
and none of them are in Germany.
I get that. Wait, but that's not the point. If you okay, so you have to pay a lot to go to Harvard. I get that, of course. But what about the other schools where you have to pay like 80, 60K
Well,
a year?
there's a lot of different schools. There's really high prestigious schools, and then there's trade schools, and then you can go to
There's
junior
scholarships.
college. It's different levels to it, and you don't need to go to these universities and colleges to be successful in America. So you don't need to do that. You can pull yourself up by your bootstraps with no education whatsoever.
You don't need to, but it makes it harder.
And
No,
here's
it
the other thing
doesn't.
too.
I mean, it
You want to
depends
know
on
why
what
the
you
colleges
do.
are so expensive? Because we got the best schools. It's supply and demand. We have an enormous amount of international students that come here to get education because we have the best universities in the world. Doesn't even come close. We literally, there's a reason why it costs so much money, because we can charge that much because people will pay to come here for a lot of these schools.
Well, let's talk about this real quick, and I know we don't want to go down a political. Nothing is free. You guys are paying for it. You're paying for it in taxes.
Like
That's
60%.
true, yes.
They
Yeah.
get
What
cooked.
is your tax rate?
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
Well, you're gonna find out when you start working in the real world,
yeah,
and you're gonna
No,
realize
taxes are
they're
like
taking
45.
that.
Tatum, I think it's like
How much?
60%.
It's something
No, I
insane.
think it's 45.
It's something insane. That's why they can afford to provide you that for free. It's not just because they're so generous. It's because they take a lot more of your money. In the state of Texas, in the state of Florida, there's no state income tax. There's a lot of freedom to grow and prosper in America. And the beauty of America is you have choice. So you could choose to go to the best school, in the world, and you can go into debt
45%.
if you want to, but it's a financial investment into your future. So it's not all bad because you have to pay. You get what you pay for.
And that's just income tax.
That's why healthcare is terrible in Canada, because it's free. If they tried to make healthcare free in America, it'd be
shit.
terrible.
I'll tell you this. You guys had the best economy from roughly 1933 to 1945. I'll leave it there. And that's the truth. You guys had the strongest economy during that period of time.
And how many people are dying to go and live in Germany compared to the United States of America? I think that
I know a
answers
lot of people. Like
Oh,
people that
right
I work with.
right now, a lot of Americans are trying to get to Europe.
compared to America,
Well, that's not fair because America's like what?
the land of opportunities.
It's way
so
bigger.
Yeah, it's so
Well,
much bigger.
It doesn't matter. I mean, still Texas in and of itself, probably the economy in Texas may be even bigger than Germany. That's one state. California definitely is. And we go down. I mean, we can go down the list. I'm not trying to fight with you guys about it. You just got to think. You're in America. This is the greatest country on planet Earth.
Fight.
Everybody wants to be here. Millions of people will die to come to live in America in a capitalist society.
That is
Just
true.
out of curiosity, what European countries are Americans trying to go to?
Like, Italy was giving away countries for houses for like €1. I mean, they had to be like rebuilt, but they are selling them to Americans because so many want to go there right now. At least that's what I heard. I don't know if it's actually true.
It's not
something
true.
that I
mean,
heard.
it's not. And then you talk about diversity.
is
How much
true,
diversity
actually.
is
It
in
is true.
Germany? Nowhere near as in the United States of America. How many immigrants do they allow to come into Germany? Nowhere
A
near
lot.
what they allow in America.
Well, they do have a lot of
Well, they're-
immigrants.
yeah,
But
those
here's the
are
thing,
right
that's
now.
why their country sucks. You guys allow mass immigration too. You guys are getting destroyed
So,
by
the
third
other-
worlders from Northern Africa.
We're not really getting
I'm saying in
destroyed though.
comparison to America.
They're actually helping out a lot in our economy, in our like, especially in the healthcare system. There's so many doctors like from outside of Europe that are coming to Europe or like
But
Germany that help us out
That's a small.
so
Here's
much.
the thing. So this is why you guys also have problems. You guys allow mass migration, mass immigration, and what's up happening is, you're bringing these people, and I know you're saying some of them are hard workers. That's true.
But
That's a
not
small
all, of
percentage,
course,
though.
yeah.
But a majority are criminals, degenerates, want to utilize your social system that you guys have for the free healthcare, etc., and they abuse the system. And this is the problem when you bring a bunch of people in from these very poor countries. Yes, there's going to be people that are going to work hard. And this is coming from a first-generation immigrant. I shouldn't be saying this. I was born here. My parents immigrated here. But I know that people, especially from North Africa, where my family's from, they're scammers and liars and losers and crooks.
Yeah.
That's why Germany is cooked. You guys allow mass immigration. That's why Europe is falling. The United Kingdom, mass immigration. Germany, mass immigration. Spain, mass immigration. Italy, mass immigration. You guys are getting cooked.
True.
and that's why we elected
That
who
is
we
true.
elected, so we don't get cooked.
You
So,
need strong borders. You don't have a country.
No,
and
just
that's why you
because-
guys are.
He said we don't have a diversity.
not
do.
as much as the United States of America. That's what I said.
All right. So
Is that a no? I mean, is that
I don't know. We have like every country you could think of in Germany. So
You have diversity from immigrants. He's saying we have diversity from people that are American citizens, but they have different backgrounds.
Yeah, because America was built on immigrants. Like you threw out,
So
like
that is
that's
true.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So we were more diverse. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, but your country's like what, 100 years old? Like Germany's like.
oh,
So you would think
It's a pretty young country, though.
would think they
Compared to
would-
Germany, it's a pretty young country. You
would
gotta
think they would
admit that, though.
progress to diversity more so, but they're not.